His Excellency Martin Roper, Governor of the Cayman Islands, Honourable Wayne Panton, Premier of the Cayman Islands, Honourable Sabrina Turner, Minister of Health, Wellness and Home Affairs, as well as Chief Officer of Health and Wellness, Mrs. Nellie Pucci, other distinguished guests, speakers, sponsors, and delegates, welcome. My name is Lizzette Yearwood, and I'm a founding member of the Alex Panton Foundation, and it is my pleasure to be your MC here today. Before we get started, there are some housekeeping matters that we need to review. Please turn your cell phones on silent. And Wi-Fi is kindly sponsored by C3. The network name is C3 Pure Fiber, and the password is C3 Cares. It is not case sensitive. You should have found your program on the seat, which includes the details of today's run of show, our sponsors and exhibitors, and it also includes the Wi-Fi information. We are so delighted to have so many outstanding speakers and panelists joining us today. Their full biographies can be found in the Alex Panton Foundation website, alexpantonfoundation.ky. We have over 20 exhibitors here in the foyer outside the ballroom today, and they're all listed in your program as well. Please make sure you make your way around to visit each one of them during your break. Our coffee and tea is located just outside the ballroom, and we will also be having a morning break that's going to be sponsored by Maples Group, and this afternoon's break is sponsored by Queensgate Bank and Trust Company. Lunch today is sponsored by Burger King and Popeyes and will be served at 12:35 p.m. Okay, this is our 6th annual Mental Health Symposium, and the Alex Panton Foundation is grateful for all of the support from the local community since we launched 6 years ago. We are especially grateful to all of our sponsors who allow the symposium to take place each year free of charge. Thank you in particular to our platinum sponsor, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and many other sponsors and exhibitors who help to make this event free for all to attend. Details of all of our sponsors will be displayed throughout the day on the screens behind me, and we will be recognizing them throughout today's proceedings. Many of you have actually supported us for several years, and we are extremely, extremely grateful. Thanks also to those of you who have supported us in other ways over the past 6 years, helping to fund the very important work that the Foundation does in the community. The Foundation cannot do what we do without your support, and we are extremely appreciative. This year's theme is Let's Talk Trauma. We know that trauma is one of those elephants in the room that we tend to avoid, that we deliberately suppress or even deny. And we have a number of presenters here today that will be helping us to look at this topic from a number of angles. We are mindful that some of the presentations may trigger deep emotions for some of us, and if you are someone who is triggered by these emotions, or you're aware of someone who's affected by anything that you hear today, there are a number of professionals who are willing to talk with you. They can be identified by an orange lanyard. Please ask them for assistance at any time. You can also ask for assistance at the Alex Panton Foundation desk, and one of these volunteers will direct you to one of the professionals, or if you prefer, to a quiet room upstairs where you can spend a few minutes. As we do every year, we encourage you to tell us how we can improve the symposium. So on Monday, we will be emailing you an event survey. Please take time to complete this survey and let us know how we can do better next year. We will also include email details of how to access our speaker presentations today, which will all be recorded. And for those of you who require continuing education certificates, instructions on how to get those will also be in the same email and be available for download from the Alex Panton Foundation website next week. Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our phenomenal leader, Miss Jane Panton, founder and chairperson of the Alex Panton Foundation. Jane, together with her husband Wayne and son Cody, founded the Alex Panton Foundation in memory of their son and brother in an effort to help the Cayman Islands community improve mental health awareness and provide support for children and adults. Help me welcome Mrs. Jane Panton.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Lizzette, and thank you once again for taking on the role of MC, which you do a stellar job on. And thank you all for coming to the 6th Annual Alex Panton Foundation Youth Mental Health Symposium. I'm really grateful for your support. And I'm so grateful to be here to reflect on the progress we have made over the past 6 years since our first symposium on the 10th of February 2018, which would have been Alex's 25th birthday. My sincerest thanks to all the speakers, sponsors, volunteers, and attendees who have been a part of this journey with us. This has truly been a bittersweet journey for me, which has been softened by the wonderful people that have joined my path at various junctures. We are here today to discuss trauma, which is defined as deeply distressing or life-threatening experience that leaves an individual feeling helpless and overwhelmed and has a profound effect on their mental well-being. Trauma affects so many in our community, much of which was experienced in the formative years. As we planned the theme for this year's symposium, it became evident that many of us have varying understandings of what trauma is. That is why we are here today, to gain a better understanding and to work together to support our young people who have experienced trauma. Whether it's the result of natural disasters like hurricanes, violence, bullying, abuse, discrimination, the loss of a loved one, or a global pandemic, the impact of trauma, especially in the formative years, can be devastating. Persons affected may experience symptoms such as anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Trauma can also impact their relationships and ability to trust others, as well as their ability to perform well in school or at work. Today, we have an incredible lineup of speakers who will be sharing their expertise and knowledge with us, from our very own Dr. Lam, who will be discussing the current data on the impact of childhood trauma on substance abuse and violence right here in the Cayman Islands, to Dr. Davis, who will take a closer look at substance misuse through a trauma lens. We will also hear from our Chief Justice. I'm not sure. Is she? Okay, she's not well. Okay. And Dr. Edwards, who will highlight the impact that trauma has on learning in the classroom. Brandon Ramaco will share his insights on the connection between trauma and chronic pain. And Shannon Seymour will lead us in an important conversation about intergenerational trauma in a Caribbean context. And we will have the opportunity to hear some truly inspiring individuals who have generously offered to share their own personal stories with us today. My dear friend Rhonda Kelly will be sharing her own story in the hopes of helping others who may face similar challenges. And Catherine Whitaker will lead an uplifting panel of young people who will share their story of overcoming trauma. It takes immense courage to share traumatic personal experiences, and we are honored to have these individuals with us today. Their stories will bring hope and provide us with a deeper understanding of the impact of trauma on young people. I'm sure they will touch each other and every one of us in every way. Am I okay? However, I'm watching the time and it's unsettling me. However, I want to emphasize that despite the challenges being discussed today, there's always hope. There are always better days ahead, no matter how gloomy it may seem in the moment of experiencing or reliving the trauma. We have to hold on to the hope that overcoming trauma will transform your own life, that you're a light onto others. Young people can and do recover from trauma. There is support available that can help young people process their experiences and learn coping strategies. We hope to learn some today. We're privileged to have numerous skilled professionals in the room and in the exhibition area who possess the necessary expertise, empathy, and understanding to offer the support required by our children, parents, and our wider community. At the end of today, Lizzette will present the approach of the Alex Panton Foundation in offering hope and providing support for young people in their recovery journey. We will also hear from Dr. Holder on the operational plans for Alex's Place, the soft opening of which we were so proud to participate in on 18th of January this year. So let's talk about trauma. Let's open up the conversation to support our young people who are suffering in silence, because it is the invisible elephant in the room that few people want to tackle. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a fulfilling day here with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane, for inspiring us all by your passion to help and your desire to destigmatize mental health and improve awareness and access to care. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce His Excellency Martin Roper, Governor of the Cayman Islands, to provide his opening remarks. His Excellency.
Good morning, and thank you very much, everybody. Everyone is coming up to me and saying, you're going, you're departing, so I can tell you that's testing my resilience and mental health as well, because it feels quite sad. But I'm doing a number of media farewells already. I did one with Cayman Radio, the wonderful Shanda Gallego and April Cummings yesterday, and they said, Governor, what will you miss? And I said, well, I'll miss my hair. Because when I arrived, I definitely had far more hair than I am leaving with. But it is a huge pleasure for me and a privilege for me to be here at this event today. This symposium has become a truly unmissable event in our calendar because of the outstanding work that the Alex Panton Foundation is doing, and I am delighted to be here. And I know that the theme today, trauma, the impact of trauma on mental health is incredibly important to the health of our young people. And it is essential that we address this subject head on if we are to make any progress in changing the face of mental health, especially here in Cayman, where there is still a stigma about openly discussing our own mental health. I recently attended the opening of the new mental health hub, Alex's Place, which is a wonderful new facility on our islands. But the statistics highlighted during the speeches were worrying, and we have to recognize there is a serious mental health challenge impacting our young people. And after 4.5 years here as a friend of Cayman, and I say this, and I've said it before, that there are cultural taboos in our community that we do need to tackle. Substance use and abuse, I mean, that is one that you're looking at. But Mental health anxiety is also linked to an individual's sexual identity. It's linked to sexual abuse of children. And these are difficult issues, these are sensitive issues, but unless, as a community, everybody does more to speak up about them, we will not make the progress that we want to make. And the emotional and psychological effects of mental health and trauma in particular from those issues that I have highlighted can be devastating and long-lasting, particularly to young people who are still developing their sense of self and identity. It can lead to a range of mental health issues, including depression, anxiety, and, as we've heard, post-traumatic stress disorder, all of which can have a highly negative impact on a young person's ability to learn, grow, and form healthy relationships. And that trauma can last forever. It can last for a lifetime. So I do want to pay tribute, though, to grassroots movements like the Alex Panton Foundation, who do give us hope that we can tackle this, and we can help people to feel comfortable discussing mental health with their families and friends, and we can give them the support that they need to not only heal from trauma, but also build resilience. And this starts with creating safe spaces where they can feel heard and understood, and providing access to quality mental health and psychological services. So I know today we're going to hear from a diverse group of experts, including clinicians, policymakers, teachers, judges, and most importantly, parents and young people themselves. And the common goal is to deepen our understanding of trauma, mental health, and mental illness, and to work together to find solutions. And over the past few years, the Alex Panton Foundation has done such excellent work, and as I said earlier, established itself as a vital resource, and we are going to hear about the many impressive initiatives and programs today. And I want to extend my sincere gratitude to both Jane and Wayne Panton for their courage and their vision. That is why we are here today. To the Foundation's board staff, to the staff and volunteers for their hard work and dedication in making such a significant impact in our community. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank all those who continue to sponsor the Alex Panton Foundation and support its various programs and initiatives. And as this may be the last time that I do get to address many of you who are here today, let me just pay my own tribute to all of you, each and every one of you who is here. I've been privileged to have met so many brilliant people in the Cayman Islands, people who are in this room, who I know want to make the lives of people in our community better. And I say a huge personal thank you to all of you. It is hugely appreciated. Thank you for whoever that was. So let me just conclude by saying thank you very much indeed, and I am sure you will have another really impactful and important conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor Roper, for your encouraging words as usual. And as this will be our final opportunity to be honored by you at our annual symposium as our governor, we want to say a very special thank you for always being willing to accept our invitations and for always being so supportive of the mission of the Alex Panton Foundation. We will truly miss you. I would like to now call the Honorable Sabrina Turner, our Minister of Health, Wellness, and Home Affairs, to deliver her opening remarks. Honorable Sabrina Turner.
Good morning, everyone. And totally understanding protocol, I always quiver when I speak after the governor, because he does have a way with words, and I must say, we will miss you dearly. The mere fact of you saying, you're going to miss your hair. In Cayman, we say your navel string is buried here. For you, for the amount of hair that you have lost, your DNA will always be here. Well, it is indeed a pleasure to be here as the Minister of Health and Wellness and to be here for this 6th annual Alex Panton Foundation Youth Mental Health Symposium. As always, I would like to thank the Honourable Premier, Mr. Wayne Panton, and his dear wife, Miss Jane, who through adversity, the both of you, have actually created this environment, created this platform, and we are most grateful, and I know that the youth of the Cayman Islands, in the memory of your sons, Alex, is more than grateful for the effort that you continue to do. May God bless you both. Now, I've had the privilege of offering opening remarks at last year's event and spoke of the Ministry of Health and Wellness commitment to strengthening the youth mental health here in the Cayman Islands, and it's one of this government's broad outcomes. At that time, we were preparing to open our long-awaited Adolescent Mental Health Hub, a partnership with the Alex Panton Foundation and the Health Services Authority. As some of you may remember, the hub, as we called it then, was envisioned as a place where young people would be able to receive specialized mental health care in an environment that suits their needs. It is my pleasure to stand before you here today to let you know that this hub, now aptly named Alex Place, opened its doors last month, as previously been said. Dr. Holder, the psychiatrist at HSA, will speak more about exactly how this space will work in collaboration with our A&E department and overall HSA's service later today. Along with the opening of Alex's Place, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, via the work of the Department of Counseling Services, continues in its effort to enhance mental health offerings in our community via a number of programs and initiatives. In 2022, the Counseling Center, one of 3 agencies that makes up the Department of Counseling Services, provided 7,885 clinical sessions, facilitated 386 program hours, and completed 897 new client intakes. At last year's symposium, I spoke of the Family Resource Center's launch of the world-renowned Positive Parenting Program as an addition to its community offerings, also known as Triple P. Now, that program trains parents in necessary skills to raise confident, healthy children and teenagers through the cultivation of stronger family relationships. It also helps parents to manage and better preventing concerning behaviors. In 2022, the Family Resource Center launched 6 Triple P programs right here in Grand Cayman, and they were able to support families in Cayman Brac as well, with the delivery of the 8-week program back in September. As always, services provided by the Department of Counseling Services are free of cost to all of our residents. I know that many of you have questions about the status of the long-term residential mental health facility in East End and are eager for more information on progress relating to that facility. I have just completed another update tour of that facility earlier this month to personally gain a better understanding of what has been completed and what is outstanding, along with my ministerial team. It is said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So please allow me to share with you a short video that my ministry put together with current footage of that facility.
The project team facilitated a site tour of the long-term residential mental health facility with Minister Turner, along with her chief officer and a few other members of her ministerial staff. The tour consisted of a walkthrough of the three main buildings, which are the main cafeteria, administration, and coffee workshop building, which is built and equipped to shelter all staff and residents in the event of a hurricane. A tour of one of the 9 cottages was also completed. Each cottage consists of 6 bedrooms, laundry facility, clinical staff room, and living room with a mini kitchen. A spacious outdoor breezeway area is also provided for the residents to lounge.
That things are progressing nicely, and there is still a little bit of work to be done in order to get this to where we can even think about operations. Now, from my initial tour back in 2021, that was pretty much weeks after getting into office, I was pleased to walk through buildings that they were actually still being constructed at that time. And here we are today. I'm not walking through windows, but I'm actually walking through doors. And the 9 cottages are all enclosed. So logistically, I can see there has been some serious movement, and completion is definitely near. But with all the setbacks that we've received, weather-related, we know there have been supply chain issues, and just other infrastructure approvals. The finer details is really what's holding us up right now. But nevertheless, from where we're coming from and what I saw initially taking office and where we are today, I feel much more comforted that we're nearing definitely the finish line.
I want to thank my team for putting that together, along with the project management team, and you can see it puts everything into perspective. Some of the key works remaining for completion of the facility includes the permanent power connection, the IT data infrastructure, and road works. The facility's project management team advised that once power connection occurs, completion of the building works is expected within approximately 6 to 8 weeks thereafter. I trust them for this timeline. They are the experts. Now, while the physical aspects of the facility are still being finalized, the recruitment process for the facility's senior management team is underway. It is imperative that this team is in place, as they will be tasked with creating and implementing the facility's operational plans, as well as determining its therapeutic programming. You would be aware that the recent advertisement for the director of the facility has been posted, the recruitment process of which is currently underway. The ministry will keep the public apprised of the status of the completion and the expected occupancy of the facility as work progresses. As it pertains to the Mental Health Commission, I am pleased to announce that Cabinet approved 5 appointments on February 7th, 2023, for a 3-year term until December 31st, 2025. 4 of such approvals were the reappointments to the Commission, including that of Ms. Fiona McDougall, who will now serve in the capacity of Chair.
Congratulations, Ms. Fiona, and I know you're here. Now, Ms. McDougall has been with the Commission since 2017, so she's already completed 5 years, and definitely, based on this, she has 3 more to go. Not far from a decade. The ministry looks forward, however, to the continued works with the Commission as a whole as they continue their very important work of addressing mental health needs here in our islands. Please allow me to also take this opportunity to once again thank the outgoing chair, Dr. Mark Lockhart, for his contributions during his tenure on the Commission, and I look forward to his continued support and his contribution positively to mental health right here in our islands. I say all of this not only in the interest of transparency, but also to stress that both this government and my team's commitment to the mental health and wellness is a priority for our nation. Government works in partnerships with organizations like the Alex Panton Foundation, and in order for us to remain good partners, we must continue to lay down the necessary foundation to support progress in this area. Today, we will be talking about trauma. No, let me rephrase that. We will be finally breaking the taboo about trauma, not only as theoretical or academic exercise, but as a personal one, and congratulations for taking that step. I have no doubt that what will be shared here today will strike a chord with most, perhaps even trigger some, and no doubt motivate others. Discussions about trauma are necessary, and we must have them. But as all practitioners in this room will agree, this must be done responsibly. As partners in this endeavor, my ministry and the government are more broadly shares in that responsibility, not only today, but also for the immediate and distant future. As a government, our responsibility is broad and multifaceted, but key within those is the need to ensure that relevant, evidence-based, trauma-informed services are available, sustainable, and accessible to the community via both private sector and public services. As your Minister of Health and Wellness, I would like to assure you that I understand and I accept that responsibility, that I appreciate the queries and opportunities for communication, and that I remain committed to strengthening mental health services for all of our people. To this end, I am very pleased to announce the recent acquisition of property registered as Block 25B, Parcel 8, for the purpose of the establishment of a new wellness community park. Now, some of you may say, what's she talking about block and parcel? Let me give you Caymanian direction. Everybody know Spot Street, right? Everybody know the site where Mariners Cove used to sit at? Congratulations. We now own that, and it will be earmarked as Prospect Wellness Park. We're on the water. It's calming for all of the islands to use. Now, this is an important, tangible step towards enhancing the wellness of our people of all ages, and can only lead and lend positively to mental well-being for everyone. The ministry will keep the public appraised and engage as plans are developed of this property. As I stand here today and I span this room, I see the large amount of young adults. I see parents. I see siblings. And I can assure you, I have heard the cries of the parents. I have also engaged with some of you where you're actually grappling with finding your place in society. We're saying we want to deal with depression. We want to deal with mental health issues. Then as a society, we gotta all come on board. We can't be giving you access and providing resources for you to go away to school, make the grade, make the marks, and it's impossible for you to actually find independence, making sure you get a mortgage, making sure you're able to get the very building blocks to make your entrepreneurial dreams a reality. This is not only a government's responsibility, ladies and gentlemen. This is a society solution. And unless employers, governments like myself, invest in this narrative, a lot of the unnecessary stress that you face, the hopelessness in your parents when we're doing the best we can, will go away. It will be an ease. And this is why in our discussion in breaking the taboo, it has to be a joint approach, and society, culture needs to invest in that change. In closing, I would like to thank the board at the Alex Panton Foundation for making this symposium a highly sought-after event for the people of the Cayman Islands and for giving clinicians, mental health advocates, and leaders like myself a platform to discuss such meaningful topics. I personally look forward to learning from today's speakers and putting their insights into action for the betterment of our people. May God bless you all, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Minister Turner. As a former nurse, we know that you have a special heart for healthcare, and we thank you for your faithful participation and your support to the Alex Panton Foundation. A special thanks also for your ministry's platinum sponsorship here today.